Hi guys, welcome to the Saturday night WSL weekly show with special guest Leicester City women's manager Jonathan Morgan will be joining me shortly. Get your questions in, get your comments in, get your views in, and we'll talk all things Leicester City women, what's going right and what's going wrong for Leicester City women this season. All them questions will be answered by no other than the manager himself. Guys, as always, if you're watching, we want your comments, we want your views. Please like, share, and subscribe to Leicester Fan TV. If you're watching on playback, we are live 7 days a week. The Fan Zone show on Monday, the WSL weekly show on Tuesday, the away fan chat show on Wednesday, the Thursday, the Premier League predictions show, Friday, the pre-match show with Reedy. Tonight is the WSL weekly show for this week. The aftermath show is at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning with Jamie before the Leeds game, and then the watch along with the boys as Leicester travel to Yorkshire to take on Leeds United in the Premier League. A busy schedule, 7 days a week now. So, guys, let's get started.
Welcome to Leicester Fan TV. Are you ready for the show? Thanks to our sponsors, ADT Taxis, Everard's, Pucka Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Leicester Riders, Hologram, The Fox's Arms, Peter's Pizzeria, Hope Against Cancer, and Newbie and Co-Estate Agents. We want your views, we want your comments, so join us live. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hi all, welcome to the show. Follow us on Instagram, follow us on TikTok, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, follow us wherever you can find us at Leicester Fan TV. Hope everyone had a great bonfire night, wherever you got up to. It's not been a cracking time at Leicester City at the minute, either way. But you know, things will turn around. So let's stay positive. Guys, as always, get your comments in, get your views in, get your questions in for Jonathan Morgan. He'll be joining me shortly. Let's get a few good evenings in then. Richie, hello. Gray, how are you? Get well soon, mate. Mayan, hello. LCFC women will stay up this season. Jonathan is a good manager of the LCFC women's team. Come on, Leicester, boys and women, of course. So let's get the man in himself, Mr. Jonathan Morgan. Jonathan, how are you, pal?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks. Yourself?
Yeah, welcome to the show, mate. Last time wasn't great circumstances. I supposed to been interviewing you last time, but Phil obviously had to do it last time. But, you know, we're here now. And let's get cracking, Jonathan. So what is it like then, Jonathan, managing at your club? Obviously, the club you support is Leicester City. You obviously got a season ticket, haven't you? What's it like managing the Leicester City women to being a fan in the crowd watching the blokes?
Yeah, it's always a great feeling to sort of lead out a team at Leicester. Obviously, just being a fan from a young child, really, and it's just been great to be able to focus all my energies into the club this year, into the girls, and I think it's always something that you can never take for granted being a coach of an elite team, but let alone at your childhood team.
Just because, good mate. Get well soon. It's a difficult one, isn't it, Jonathan? Watching the men and then obviously managing the women. You know, the men ain't on great form at the minute, are they? Neither are the ladies. Bottom of the table of the WSL. What was it like winning the league last season, Jonathan? The championship. Obviously, you had a fantastic season. Natasha Flint was on fire. What sort of memories do you pick up from last season, winning the championship?
I think that's just the important word. They are memories. We don't sort of stay in the past. We move. But I mean, it was a fantastic year. It was a special year. It was a historic year for so many different reasons for the club and the players that were there. But our commitment now and our focus is fully on the WSL, and we're under no illusion to what we have to do, and we're working really hard for that. And what we try and do is we try and take inspiration from last year in different ways, but not really fixate on it or focus on it to the point where it might hamper us for this season.
What's it like then working with Leicester City legend Emil Heskey then on a daily basis, Jonathan?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, Emil, he's a top guy, and he's come into the setup from last season, and he's been someone that we've enjoyed working with, and he's obviously got a lot of knowledge from his playing days as a player, and I think that we are fortunate that we have him on our side, really. Obviously, he's been at a wealth of clubs, so any club could have possibly snapped him up, but we did. But yeah, he's humble. He's exactly what you probably see in the media. He is that person, and just really, really enjoying working with him at the moment.
What's he like then, bringing the experience into the squad? Obviously, he's got a lot of Premier League experience, hasn't he, from the men's game side of it. What does he bring to the women's side of the game, and how helpful is he around the training ground and that? And is he one of them who, the younger generation who's coming into the Leicester City women's side, who can go to Emil Heskey and say, I need help with this, this and this? Is he very hands-on with the job? Where we can give out some great advice for those who are struggling?
Yeah, I think, like, in all fairness, he's just one of the staff. He's just exactly like all the other coaches, and he obviously has a different set of skills from his history. I think what it is really transitioning to being a professional team, and whilst the setup is very professional, it's obviously very good to have someone like Emil who can talk from a personal level in the elite game, which helps the players understand certain things a little bit more because he's got the t-shirt. But yeah, he's hands-on. I mean, we're a very close team, and it's myself, it's Emil, it's Jade, it's Michael, it's Holly, it's Tony, it's Aidan, Susan, like the whole host of staff there that are working together closely, and we all sort of bounce off one another to give the best to the players. And in all honesty, Emil is extremely hands-on from like a support point of view, and it's just like all the other staff, really. We all have our set roles, and we do it to the best of our ability.
Yeah, obviously you've got your own training ground now, haven't you, Jonathan, at Beaver Drive? A lot of memories have been shared there from the men's side of the game. Obviously the women have got that now, haven't they? They don't have to switch with the academy and the first team. It's all their own game. What's it like having your own training ground and that now? And how much of an effect has that had on the women this season in the WSL?
Yeah, it's great having our own training ground. I think we're the only female team to have a facility that is independent from the men's side. So it's fantastic. We're very fortunate, and it gives the girls that extra push, that extra motivation. But most importantly, it allows us to have the platform to improve the girls, which is obviously our aim. And I think that, if I'm honest, it is very, very special, the fact that we get to go into our elite facility that was once used by the men's not so long ago, which shows you the standard that it is at. So yeah, it's great.
Holly and Jade then, it's a family affair at the Leicester City Women. What's it like working with them on a club basis rather than a relationship basis, a personal basis outside the club?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I get to see them on a daily basis, and obviously it's very different in work to home life. But to work with my two sisters is obviously always great. I mean, Jade's obviously the sort of the overall boss of the setup from that point of view, and she's obviously working hard alongside Emil to get things right behind the scenes. And obviously Holly, it's just nice to be able to watch her transition from a player to a coach and have an impact on her career from that point of view. So it's good because what you get is you get open, honest challenge whilst you can trust them implicitly. And that sort of is bred and that's sort of fed into the team now and the staff. So it helps create such a strong environment.
Yep, met Holly quite a few times, had her on here as well. Great personality. What's she like though around the training ground, Holly? Obviously she used to play for Leicester City Women. How much of a difference is playing to then coaching? And how much does that bring to the Leicester City Women's side of the game?
Yeah, I mean, she's played in the women's game since she was 16 now, and she's so focused, and the girls all adore her, to be honest. And she's such a detailed and technical coach, which is fantastic because she goes into different levels and different depths of information than other staff members. But I think obviously she has that sort of balance that she was only just a player last season. So she knows, so she gets how they feel, while she also understands it from the coaching side a bit more. And she's that sort of that balancer within the setup that sort of helps us look at it as well, just as much from the player side it is from the staff.
Yeah. Life in the WSL then, Jonathan. You obviously got promoted last season as champions, which was a fantastic achievement for the football club, having only been Leicester City women for a year. What a year it was for Leicester City women on a professional basis. Fantastic last season. What's life now like in the WSL? How different is it to the championship, and how much of a big step up is it for the girls, and how much pressure does it come with it, with obviously you and Holly as well as the coaching staff?
Yeah, I mean, it was always going to be a big step up from the championship to the WSL. And whilst we had some great results against WSL teams last season, we would play them once, every 6, 7, 8 weeks. So yeah. I was always up for them. Playing these teams week in, week out, you really do see the difference in consistency. And that's what we're improving on, and that's what we're working hard to do. I mean, I strongly believe that we're only just around the corner from picking up some points. The girls are in good spirit. They're motivated. They're very much focused on the task at hand and understand the challenges at hand as well. In terms of a pressure thing, like, we put ourselves under our own pressures. We all want to win. We all want to pick up points. We don't want to be the team that gets relegated this year. Myself, Holly, and the rest of the staff, we work tirelessly around the clock, really, to make sure that we're supporting the players in the best way possible. But from a pressure point of view, it's like we have to handle that. We have to acknowledge it at the same time, but make sure that we don't let that define us.
Yeah, it's a big step up though, isn't it, Jonathan? Championship to WSL. WSL's the biggest challenge yet. You're coming up against the elite, aren't you, of this division? The Man Cities, the Chelseas, the Arsenals, the Man Uniteds. There's some fantastic clubs, but them challenges you relish, don't you, playing against them sort of teams, and you pick up so much experience, as you've seen in the first 5 games. In the first 5 games, you obviously played Aston Villa, didn't you? You were lucky to not win that game. I mean, I thought you were fantastic first game of the season. Obviously, watching the Leicester City women this season, we were lucky enough to not get points, which I guess that put a damper on it, didn't it? Letting them 2 goals in the first couple of minutes.
Yeah, I think obviously the Villa game, we were fantastic. I think obviously the stats don't lie with how well we did, but fundamentally the most crucial stats didn't go in our favour. I think one thing that happened is that the girls played so well and put so much into that game. There was probably a little bit of an aftermath mentally to the harsh realities of the level, which may just sort of had a little bit of a hangover with the players for a little bit longer than we'd have liked. But again, I think including Conti Cups now, the 8 games, including Man City tomorrow, we played Man City twice, Chelsea, Man U once, Everton, Spurs. Like, we played a lot of the big guns already, and we've just now got to. I think that's a very fortunate thing that we played them all quite early, because it allows us to learn and it allows us to develop. And one of the best ways to learn is through the actual experience itself. We've now got great.
You obviously took on. You've played Tottenham, haven't you? You played Manchester United. Now you played West Ham. You've now played Chelsea as well. How much of challenges was them games? I mean, you know, watching the Chelsea game, I thought you were phenomenal. But obviously Sam Kerr and Frank Kirby are very good strikers, aren't they, together as a partnership? How do you guys relish them challenges? I mean, Kirsty Lavelle, fantastic goalkeeper. She's kept you in so many games this season. I mean, we've been good going forward. Tasha Flint, Jess Sigsworth. I guess all the girls have came together, haven't they, as a group, and they're a good group of girls, and they respect one another and they want the best, and they show fight throughout every game. I mean, talking to Ashley Plumpter, you know, she's enjoying her role at the club at the minute, enjoying playing. But that's what you like to see, isn't it, Jonathan? That sort of feedback from the players.
Well, I mean, this is what I mean. Like, we're a very cohesive unit, a cohesive group, and we work really well together. And like I said earlier, everybody knows what their job roles are and what the challenges we have this season. And we all knew that this wasn't going to be a walk in the park. But at the same time, I remember saying a lot last year that we want to get promoted because we want to put ourselves and challenge ourselves against the best in the country and with opportunity. So it was never going to be a piece of cake. It was never going to be just an easy walk. But I tell you what, is we are showing a tremendous amount of character. The girls are learning what we want to do every day. They're working hard. And like I said, I think we're just around the corner from picking up some points. Hopefully we can do something tomorrow, but time will tell. But like, we have a good set of girls, a good set of staff. It's a positive mindset within the environment, and you've just got to keep that, and you just got to work on that, because that's the platform. That's the key for me.
Yep. How does Brendan Rodgers' blueprint help you then, from the men down to the women? How much does that help? How much support is Brendan Rodgers with you and the rest of the squad? How much does that help knowing Brendan's experience and that? Do you guys look at the men in a way of idols and that to think, you know what, if the men can go and beat teams like Manchester City and that, why can't we go and get results like that week in, week out?
I wouldn't say it is in idols. We respect the men's very much, and they're a fantastic group of lads. And
yeah,
group in Brendan obviously is a phenomenal manager, and there's so much that I can learn from him and the setup. Obviously, Brendan, he's one of those people that's very charismatic and he's very open and easily contactable from that point of view within the club. So he always provides us that little bit of information, a bit, and just support from that point of view. But I think for me, the girls are professionals, and they have their own drive and their own desire to win these games. And I think they get their motivation from within rather than from external things. And
yeah,
seeing the men's do what they do gives us hope that we can do it. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, they're the ones who've got to walk over that white line on a Sunday, and they're the ones that've got to end up like executing the game plan.
Yeah. How have all the summer signings fit into the squad then? You signed Sigsworth, you signed Perfield, Molly Pike, Georgia Broham, Abby McManus. You signed Luana Zajmi, is it? As well. How have all them girls fit into the mould, what you guys want to build at Leicester City Women, Jonathan?
Yeah, fantastic. We, from a personality point of view, we did a lot of homework on them to know that they've fit into our culture, which they have. They're very positive individuals. They look to go and get the best out of every situation. I think obviously we kept a large proportion of our squad last year as well, so that kept the culture that we wanted.
Yeah.
So we didn't have to start fresh from that point of view. But from a football point of view, I think you can see the likes of Gemma and Abby and Siggy and Molly, G. They've all settled in really well. And yes, it's been a little bit frustrating that we've not picked up points, but I think especially the last maybe 3 to 4 games from Spurs onwards, we've shown how competitive we actually really are, and we've just got to put the finishing touches on it.
Yeah, you've put the levels high, haven't you, this season? You've been fantastic in every game. A lot of team spirit there, a lot of fight, a lot of desire. I've seen Molly Pike go and win a lot of balls. Gemma Perfield. The defence against Chelsea was incredible to watch, that performance. I mean, European side like Chelsea, you know, people who don't really watch football and that would think, you know what, oh, it's Chelsea, they'll batter Leicester. But, you know, you guys showed some right character and some right desire to go and win every ball. Shannon O'Brien, I think she's like the Wilfred Ndidi of the women. She loves to go and win that ball and take the ball from everybody. You've obviously got some incredible players. Abby Grant's coming back from injury now, isn't she? And you've obviously got Connie Schofield as well. How much will them two help within the squad, and will that strengthen it as well?
Yeah, I mean, it's been no secret we've had a bad run of injuries this season. I believe when we played United, we had 7 academy graduates on the bench. We said a lot of 16-year-olds coming to play the mighty United. Yeah. But we're starting to get people back one at a time. Abby Grant and Connie Schofield will be a big plus, because it provides us some squad depth again, and I think that's what we're missing out on. Like when we played Chelsea, for example, we still had academy graduates on the bench, which they are good at play, but it would have been a big ask to throw them into the game like that at 0-0 for such a big game. So it's good to have some more experience coming in, even though we are a very young team still. That experience coming back is going to help, and like we're looking forward to seeing what they can do.
Yeah. Any transfer targets then, Jonathan, for the upcoming window? Is there anywhere where you look like you need to improve or add to the squad realistically?
At this moment in time, we are focused just on ourselves. There's nothing really to report on that side. We just want to keep working hard. right now my priority is just making sure that we remain competitive and pick up the points with this crop of girls and showing belief in them. And we'll just continue to do that.
Yep. Let's look at the Conti Cup then. Obviously, Ashley Plumter scored 3-1 against Everton. How did you find that game, Jonathan, against Everton? I mean, second half, you were incredible. You put up so much of a fight. The deflected goal to make it 1-0 to Everton, and then that banger from the second one. And then the third goal came late into the second half. How much positives do you take out of that game?
We were disappointed because we lost. We felt, obviously, the deflected goal early on just kills you because it was such a heavy deflection.
Mm-hmm.
Very unlucky there. Whilst Christensen scored an absolute screamer, we felt that it was too slow to react to the loose ball, which we felt that was avoidable. And we also felt that the headed goal in the dying minutes of the game was avoidable as well from our defensive positioning.
Yeah.
But I think it was for the majority of the game. I think we had, especially the second half, we played some great football. It shows you that we've improved from the in possession point of view, and the girls are now picking it all up. So, like I say, from that point of view, yes, positives, but still disappointed because we have to stop conceding those goals that really are against the run of play or are not actually of great quality, just more from individual errors. Yeah.
Jonathan, Dan asks, did you ever go and play for a team before going into management and that?
Played local football, played a little bit of non-league, nothing professional. So just sort of did the non-league rounds for a bit.
Yeah. Next game then is Leicester City women versus Manchester City women at the King Power Stadium. Man City going into the Leicester game in the WSL, 1 win, 3 loses, 1 draw. Does that give you some confidence going into that game, or do you guys look over your shoulder quite a bit to know that Manchester City have still got quality in that squad despite the form that they're on?
Yeah, I mean, I think if we're honest, Man City are in a position at the table that's not true, and they won't end there, that's for sure. We always have confidence because we'll always look to go and take a game to someone, especially on our home ground, where we're going to have such a strong support there tomorrow.
Yeah.
But yeah, their form's not great, but they're still incredible players with bags of experience and talent. So no way near would we take that form for granted. And we obviously, like I said, we're not on the best form ourselves, so we just want to pick up these points.
How much would you learn, Jonathan, going into this game? Obviously, you played Manchester City in the FA Cup this season already. What do you take out of that game to think, okay, then, well, this is what we need to change for the WSL fixture this coming Sunday?
Yeah, it's just realistically just not capitulating. Like I say, we did fantastic in the first half against them. I think you can see that since then we've worked heavily on what happens when we go goal down.
Yeah.
And we've shown much more resilience, and I think it's just to maintain that for this game and just keep working hard.
Yep. Former Man City players then, Abby McManus, Georgia Broham and Natasha Flynn relished playing against their former club on Sunday, Jonathan.
I mean, yeah, obviously it's always nice to go back to your former club and hopefully they'll put in a good performance, but in all honesty, we've not really spoken about it. They've not really mentioned it, and I think, again, we just focus on ourselves and focus on what we need to do, and those girls are obviously such professionals that they can do that.
Yeah. Changes you would make then for the Manchester City game? Is there anything you feel that you need to change ahead of this game, despite recent results, where you can put your finger on?
Win and score some goals.
Getting points.
Yeah.
Good quote. I'll take that. Yeah. Change the results in the table, because results, I don't know, they don't lie, do they? But, no. The goals have been fantastic. They don't deserve to be bottom. I mean, Birmingham, I feel they played worse this season than Leicester. That's not being biased either. But I think with the WSL, Jonathan, there's teams out there, what you think to yourself, okay, these are the games we need to win. Before the start of the season, there's obviously Birmingham has struggled this season. Aston Villa struggled last season before Carla Ward came in. They're the teams that you feel that you can get points out of, aren't they, in this division?
Oh yeah, we're not like in any panic station just yet. There's a long way to go, and the good thing about WSL, you win a couple of games or pick up a few points in a couple of games, you jump right back up the table. So, like I say, we take every game as it comes. We know the games that we're going to highlight a little bit more realistically, and and the plan is, like I say, to just pick up as many points as possible.
Yeah. Any injuries then ahead of Manchester City? What we need to be worried about?
Obviously, like I said, just the Hannah came on that we announced the other day, but unfortunately she's out for the season now. So, but nothing else to report on that front.
How much of a miss will she be, Jonathan? Hannah Kane, she's a fantastic character as well, isn't she, on the pitch, and a fantastic footballer?
Yeah, she'll be a big miss. It's the nature of the game, isn't it? And unfortunately, she's sustained one of those injuries that will keep her out for a while. But she's obviously there supporting the team, supporting the girls. So we'll have her benefit of her in different ways this year now. But yeah, our focus at the minute is just getting her through the early period so we can get that rehabilitation started as quick as possible.
Yeah. Hello, Lopez. Your next 5 games then, Jonathan, despite Man City, you've got Brighton, Everton, Arsenal and Birmingham. How much of a challenge will them ties be?
I think every game's a challenge in different ways. It goes really. So we'll just keep focusing on that and focusing on the teams that we're playing in front of us, and we'll plan for every game like it's our last, effectively.
Yep, that's fine. Jonathan, you're a big Leicester City fan, aren't you? The Leeds game's coming up at the weekend. How have Leicester City played this season?
I think obviously, like they've done well. I think they wouldn't be satisfied with everything this season so far, but obviously you know that Brendan will be pushing them and working them hard, and that they're going to go in the right direction. Obviously the Man U result shows you what they are capable of. So I think obviously it's just building that a little bit more consistency, I believe. But I know obviously, like I say, that they're working hard.
Yep. And Jonathan, your last question then. Score prediction for Leeds versus Leicester.
2-0 Leicester.
Thanks. Jonathan, before you go, please advertise the game for the weekend for us to get some more fans down there.
Yeah, so please come down, guys. We're playing the King Power tomorrow, 2:00 kickoff. We're playing against Man City, and it'll be a great game for everyone to come. The more support, the better, and come and be our 12th man.
Yep. Right, Jonathan, it's been a pleasure having you on, mate, as always. I'll catch up with you this season in the WSL and go and get that win for us on Sunday.
Perfect. Cheers to that, mate. Have a good evening.
Cheers, mate. See you in a bit. Bye. That was Jonathan Morgan, Leicester City women's manager. What a fantastic chat that was. 2-0 up the City. Right, guys. Let's see what's coming up on Leicester Fan TV, shall we? So tomorrow, we've got the aftermath show at 10 o'clock with Jamie for the Leeds United pre-match show / aftermath show. So join Jamie for that. We've got the watch along between 1 and 1:30, whichever time the boys decide to start. Join us for that. All the boys will be here, so get your questions in. Let us know what you think of the team news and that. I'll be at Ellen Road tomorrow. Phil's back for the Fan Zone show on Monday. He'll be talking post-match Leeds United. I'll be back with the WSL weekly show next week. I'll be talking post-match Manchester City. The away fan chat show next week. And no Premier League predictions show next Thursday. But we'll have Reedy to talk all things Leicester. Right, guys. Last few comments in. Brendan Rodgers is my favourite all-time manager. Nuno Espirito Santo. Yes, Nuno. Thank you, everybody tonight who's watched. Great interview by Jonathan Morgan. Before I go, please like, share, subscribe to Leicester Fan TV if you're new watching tonight. It's been much pleasure. And thank you all for watching. This is Jack from Leicester Fan TV saying goodbye. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And come on, Leicester!
Thanks for watching Leicester Fan TV. Thanks to our sponsors, ADT Taxis, Everard's, Pucka Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Leicester Writers, Hologram, The Fox's Arms, Peter's Pizzeria, Hope Against Cancer, and Newbie & Co Estate Agents. Make sure to follow us on all of our social channels at Leicester Fan TV. Visit our website, leicesterfantv.com.